Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Ultraranger, the podcast where we talk about Ultraman's past, present, future, Godzilla, and all kaiju in between. I'm your host, Ultragar.
I'm your co-host, Ultralane. Hi, 2021.
Yes, we are in
2020.5.
2020, the remastered edition. But
I don't want to see the fucking Blu-ray version.
Oh, no. But today we are not talking about Ultraman's past, sorta, or future, sorta. There's definitely no Godzilla. Or kaijus in between, sorta.
But, Gar, Ultraman Z, it's over.
So it's technically Ultraman's past, but it just ended, so it's still technically present.
Yeah.
And then there's the overall discussion of it, which is future.
Yeah, because we found out what the name of the next Ultraman is, but that's for another episode.
Well, I am not mentioning that in Ultra News until we get some sort of confirmation.
Yeah, but let's just say we'll be triggered when we find out what it is.
But sure.
Ow.
But no, we are talking about the final 4 episodes of Ultraman Z.
Yep.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a long episode, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just gonna be talking each episode
individually, and then.
Oh, I was gonna say continuous.
Oh, yeah.
It's one giant arcing story.
Sorta.
Kinda, yeah. Yes. But anyways. It all starts with, Haruki leaving with Ultraman Z to go save other people in the universe. Oh, wait, sorry, that's the end of the show. My bad.
Oh.
Sorry. It starts with...
What is this? Just as they're flying off. Hi, I'm Haruki. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation. Well, it all began a month ago.
It all began when Yoko was wearing those sweet hot booty shorts.
So yes, last time on Ultraman Z, storage got dismantled.
I wish we could just have like the... You don't remember that?
What?
So that's from the it was from the English dub of Dragon Ball Z when it would have the narrator narrating what happened in the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, and then it would show the episode title, and it'd be like...
Oh, is that from the Blue Ocean dub?
Yeah, it's from the Ocean dub.
Oh, that's why, because I only watched a bit of that.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Our story comes to a conclusion in these 4 exciting episodes of Ultraman Z. But yes, storage has been dismantled, sorta.
Kinda. Ended with freaking Juggler being like,
well, there's one more. It's like, since the last episode, it's been 3 days, and I think there's one more day left until, in a sense, it is the joke, 1 day left until retirement, or at least until it's fully taken care of.
Yeah.
So, Haruki's training. Yoko's, I'm guessing, taking as much vacation time as possible.
And she realized she was 4 out of her mind, so she's like, you know what? Get a quickie from Haruki.
What?
Come on, they have a thing for each other.
Yeah, these 4 episodes definitely make it clear.
Literally,
these 2 have a thing.
Yeah, the literal point of it that she called Haruki out of all people that she knows, being like, yeah, I've been bored out of my mind spending time alone. I need company. I like you, Haruki.
Baka.
And yeah, I guess just fucking Haruki loves to exercise, because we just anyone who's has a fucking hot crush on Haruki's actor, whew, you got what you wanted.
Well, I think
hot, sweaty Haruki just working out.
Well, I think when we see him training, especially since if you look back on older episodes of Z, I think it's more or less he's competent.
He can think. He thinks better when he's and reflects on stuff when he's exercising.
Especially during that training montage, he's just thinking about his time at storage.
Yeah.
So now he's probably thinking, as much as anyone would when losing their job, Now what?
Yeah. Which we do find out when storage has been dismantled. Like, Haruki ended up getting a security job. Yuka's, like, working in, like, a science wing. Hebikura's just like, yeah, got my own thing.
Hebikura got discharged.
Yes, he did. And then Yoko's, like, a candidate for piloting Ultroid Zero.
Yeah, and apparently that division's called the Robot Force.
Yes, part of SAG. They're called SAG.
I don't remember what SAG means, but it was like Special Airborne
Assault group.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's SAG. Because they're SAG.
And it doesn't help that on Yoko's badge, it's like on her patch, it's like one SAG, so it's like she's the first SAG.
Yep, SAG 1.
SAG 1. This is Red Leader contacting SAG 1.
Yeah, so, like, all storage is dismantled. It's really a shame, but, like, some of them do have to, like, work for them because, like, we find out that two of the people that we, like, normally see in the crew, they had to work for SAG just because, you know, they have families. They just, like, had a newborn kid. Like, oh, I had my son last year, so, you know, I need to make a living. Which, like, Bako completely fucking understood.
Yeah, like, Bako definitely understands because, like, unfortunately, I didn't have time to write down their names. Mm-hmm. It's like, just, I don't think their names are ever mentioned in this show, but these three are always around as the background characters of like the storage maintenance crew.
Yeah, I think it was like every time we see like the group of them in the hangar, it's always the same people.
Well, I mean, hey, good way to keep continuity.
Yep.
With like keeping the same actors in there.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, Mr. Bako understands. He has his own kid, even though she's an adult who lives in Quebec. Yeah, it turns out we went back to look at that episode. The letters from Quebec.
Yeah.
Which means she knows English, French, and Japanese.
Yeah, and like there was like a fake street address, and Gar tried to look it up. I was like, Gar, it's not real.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
I'll make it real.
Oh my god. But yeah, and so like in this episode we find out that like so they all went their separate ways. So like Haruki and Yoko go like on a quote unquote date. Which, like...
It's not a date!
So like, Haruki got Yoko, like, a tapioca bubble tea, and, like, she's like, yeah, I don't know the trend of, like, trying to get hunt these down, but, like, thanks, and she's like, oh, it's so fucking good, and he's like, okay, try it, and she's like, no! And, like, fucking hits him.
By the way, I got movie tickets for us. Oh, cool. Got arm wrestle me for it, though. Okay.
So they arm wrestle, she wins again, and then
proceeds.
It's like, oh, you have to pay for the ticket. What? Hey, at least it's half off.
Oh no! She charged him normal price, which is only 900 yen.
No, she said she's paying him half for half the price.
Okay, so
yeah, because it's like 900. It was like 1,800 yen, but she's making him pay 900 yen instead for the ticket.
Damn, movie tickets in Japan are $18.
Probably more because of our price, so over $20. No, they probably like really like movies down there.
No wonder those movies make millions in the box office.
Mm-hmm.
So our alien of the episode is actually Alien Barossa,
the third one, and I'm gonna say this now. In the Z movie, we're gonna see him again. We're gonna see another one, probably two.
We're probably gonna see him take on a swarm of them.
Yeah, like there's just gonna be a group of them that come down. And they're gonna be like. And which this Barossa stole Yoko's fucking bubble tea, and you see him like have like these CGI like tentacle hole thingies come out, and he's like, yeah, Earth drink fucking energized me, and he drinks that, and he's like, bah, 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 bah. He like grows fucking huge, and like, but before that we saw like Haruki turn to like normal size Zed again, which I still like that he's like base Zed when he does that.
I'm just thinking, what are the odds? The episode the time this episode came around was like a few weeks before the Cure Major episode, where it's like, oh, Mabushina, don't drink that. That's the equivalent of alcohol on your planet. So I'm guessing just Earth teas, or Earth drinks, in a sense, have some sort of effect on aliens.
Well, yeah, it's like...
Think of it. Crystallians, it's like herbal tea. Barossa, it's like the bubble tea. The aliens from Signs, it's water. It kills them.
Yeah, well, it's like in one of the Mass Effect games. Like you go to a bar in like the space station, and like one of the alien bartenders is just like, "Oh yeah, we have this. Don't drink this though. It'll burn through your stomach if you fucking drink that. If the humans drink that." So
I'm currently drinking water.
I'm also drinking water.
Interesting thing about this episode, though, episode 22, it's technically the first appearance of Ultraroid Zero, and the Alien Barossa's VA is Tatsuya Hashimoto, who is the voice actor of Alien Valky from Ultraman Ginga.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know, the first Darkness, like, apprentice that Dark
Yeah,
Legion
I
had.
love that guy. The guy who I had trouble remembering his name before was blonde. You're like, it's Valky Lane.
Another surprise cameo was actually the King Joe pilot in the episode.
Yeah, it's fucking Zena's actor from Gene.
Yeah, Hideyoshi Iwata, who just recently, or I believe this week or last week, he cameoed with his wife and daughter in Kamen Rider Saber.
Yeah, it was super adorable. I was like, wait, you retired from acting? You shouldn't be here.
But baby,
It was adorable. Yeah, so that was him. So we didn't notice it first. And we're like, oh.
but speaking of him and his connection with G, this episode was directed by Koichi Sakamoto.
Oh my god,
which
that
explains all the heavy action in this episode, and possibly is the reason for why Haruki finishes off Five King with Galaxy Burst. You know, Ultraman Jeed's final move.
Yep.
Just saying, probably Sakamoto's calling favoritism.
Well, yeah, because Jeed's his baby.
Technically Zero's his baby, but...
Yeah.
But I digress.
That's why I had Zero in Jeed.
Oh.
But yeah, no, Ultroid Zero... Oh, also, we got to see Juggler dressed up as a pizza guy.
Pizza time.
Yeah.
I tried to look at the logo on his shirt, but it was honestly no sense. It was like pizza, a la 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 la. So it's like, that's not words.
No.
I realized Gamma Future's freaking broken.
Yeah, like eventually they end up resorting to Gamma Future because...
It just...
because it's him with the powers of Tiga, Gaia, and Dinah, so...
But here's the crazy thing, though. While he's fighting Five King, he summons freaking Tiga and Dinah, and Gaia as well. But with Tiga and Dinah, they're both in their, like, muscle forms, like power type and strong type.
Yep.
Does that mean he can just summon them in, like, their most powerful forms?
Yeah, because to think about it, those metals hone the powers of those three ultras, so you get access to their whole power set.
Could you just imagine? Like, Gamma Illusion, he snaps his fingers, and, like, here comes shining, like, Tiga glitter form, and just obliterates the monster.
Just fucking Ultraman Saga.
Ah, I don't think we can go that far.
Yeah,
But then again...
You could use Zero, Cosmos, and Dinah metals in the Z-Riser, you'd make Saga. We gotta try that.
I do have those medals. We could do that
We
now.
should try that after the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's be like Ultraman Saga. Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
This is Tri-King's final appearance in the show.
Yes.
Which, I gotta admit, I kind of like Tri-King a bit more. Because he has, like, the normal claw. Like, he has the normal hands.
Yeah, because like,
Aside
he looks goofy with the Gonkyu eye.
But anyways, cool. I gotta give this episode points, though. It does end on a downer. Where it's like, even though, yeah, they beat Alien Barossa for the third time with Savenger wielding freaking the Belial Rock.
because like later on, like they go to like a Savenger like event thingy, and then you see Yuka, and she's like she's showcasing Savenger, and she has like these like Savenger eyes, like
earmuff
things, and it's super adorable.
It's kind of like the Mickey ears from Disneyland.
Yeah, and
Or
so they
Disneyland.
show up Savenger, and like so when like they're Barossa's attacking or whatever like that, like Yoko's like, fuck, I need Savenger, and like I wish I could use him, but he's an antique or whatever like that. He's on display, and Baku's like, it's ready to go. I've been like maintaining him.
He's fully It's kind of like the mega ship, fully operational.
Also, he was in a clown costume, so like we saw him in like a mask, and like me and Gar's just like, oh, don't tell me that's fucking Bako. Takes the mask off, it's Bako. Yeah.
No, it's Joaquin Phoenix.
So we see Savenger fucking. I love it too. Like Yoko goes up to because they're like Delta Rise Claws wielding the Belial Rock, and he's just like, oh, this looks interesting.
That foe's very interesting.
Oh, we've already fought him before. Oh, fuck that. Like, doesn't let him use him.
Into the ground. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah. So then Yoko goes up to him and like tries to grab him in Avenger, and Belial Rock's just like, it's like, I don't give a shit. It's like, oh yeah, so you probably can't cut it. Fuck, I can. Yeah, I bet you're a chicken. I'll fucking show you. Fine.
She basically reversed psychology.
She like made him. Yeah, you used reverse psychology on him. So, but it was just cool seeing Avenger. So now I need the figure arts of Avenger, and then if they make Delta Rise Claw, buy that, and then just have Avenger building the Belial Rock. Because that'll be the coolest thing ever.
Oh, that sounds hard. Okay, don't use reverse psychology. All right, I will.
Bravo.
But yeah, so episode 23, literally is the prelude to the finale because it's in the title, Prelude to a Nightmare.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, episode 22's title is Individual Tomorrows, which is I like that title. Yeah,
and then you hear we hear Takong's roar. It's Takong's. Well, it's like.
Yeah.
Ultraman Zero is fucking awesome. He has machine gun arms, and I like the effect where he gets powered on. You see the energy go into the chest, which is the color timer, and then he flies off like an Ultraman does. But yeah, clearly he's based around Ultraman Zero, not Z. But it makes sense because Zero's the more powerful Ultraman.
But Ultraroid Zero sort of makes sense to me. Because it's okay, it's a man-made, in a sense, it is a man-made Ultraman.
Mm-hmm.
Made by the Global Allied Forces of Japan.
GAF.
Or GAF. And, they're showing, keep in mind, episode 23 takes place 1 month after episode 22.
Yes.
It's been a month. Everyone's kind of moved on to do their own things. So they do a press conference with, news reporters and such. And they showcase all the data that they have on Ultraman. Not only do you have all the forms of Zet on there, but you have Zero, Ace, and Jeed. So that's 8 different Ultramen.
Yep.
Oh, let's go with Zero.
Yeah, no, because Zero's really the best one of them.
I have a feeling, and this is a big if, don't quote me on this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling Kota Fukihara probably had this idea in advance of a mechanized Ultraman. But since he passed away before the show even began production, they didn't really have time to actually figure out what to do more. And they just went the title Ultraroid Zero, which is Ultra Android Zero.
Yeah.
Which just looks like Zero. So maybe, I don't know. If Kota Fukihara was probably still alive, maybe Zero probably had a more focus on the show.
Yeah, I like to think because it felt like not jumping all the way to the finale, but it just I was expecting Zero to show up in the finale, and I'm surprised he did not. Or
maybe it's supposed to be a reflection type of thing of the master now, or the student now or now surpasses the teacher. But it's still technically not him. But then again, Yoko pilots Ultraroid Zero, or Haruki is Ultraman Z.
Yeah.
Which they're more of a master-student situation. So maybe it's Haruki now becoming equal with Yoko. Maybe?
Yeah. Well, I feel the Z movie will also have Zero more in it.
Most likely.
Yeah. Because he did show up last time, and him, Jeed, and Zed teamed up, and then Zero was just oh, you've gotten stronger, Zed. Good job, I'm proud of you. And Zed's oh my god.
The last time we did see Zero in Zed wasn't even in an actual episode. It was in one of the clip episodes before the finale. I think it was before it was the episode that came out before episode 20, after the Ace episode. And Zet's oh man, I wonder what Zero's doing right now. And Zero's up in space, and he's I sense a strange disturbance. I sense a disturbance in the Force on Zet's Earth at the moment. So that's the last time we see him canonically in Zet.
Yeah.
So even though he knows there's trouble, he knows Zet's got it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why we should all actually watch the clip episodes, because apparently they do include some new things.
Yeah, no, I'm glad they've been doing better with the clip episodes where they actually make them like relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So, also like throughout these episodes we watched, we saw a scene where like Juggler's like in like a locker room or something, like cleaning himself off, and he's in human form. He has his shirt off. He's got that fucking crescent moon scar on his chest. Like that's not just on his monster form. He has that. That is a wound that was inflicted onto his entire body.
A wound that, may I remind you, he inflicted on himself.
Oh, that's right, he did. Yeah. But, like, I saw that because, like, but, like, you see a guy leaving the locker room, like, as he's, like, we see him standing there, I'm like, no one noticed he had that on his chest or something? Or
hey, nice tats.
Yeah, right. People have fucking glowing, pulsating, crescent moon-shaped
scar
tattoos. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Also, we got another nice scene between Haruki and Yoko where Haruki's, like, sitting with her, and she's like, oh, like, are you gonna eat? And he's just like, I've had a lot on my mind, I just don't really feel like eating. And, like, so Yoko's just like, alright, let's do this again. And so, like, you see him
wrestle.
Yeah, so they arm wrestle again.
You gotta imply, because this is an audio podcast.
Yeah, they arm wrestle again, and obviously Yoko wins, and you just see, like, I don't know what the direction Haruki's actor got, but he's just like, he's just like screaming at the camera, and I was like, what the fuck was that about?
Gotta get that word count in.
So then, like, apparently Yoko says the reason why she, like, arm wrestles, like, all the guys is because she used to, like, every guy she ever loved in, like, high school and stuff, she'd end up, like, kicking their asses, and she wants a strong man, which is why she likes Ultraman Z so much.
We found out in episode 23 Yoko's backstory, where, like, her father was a veteran member of, like, the Global Allied Forces.
Yeah.
And he always told her, never marry a man weaker than her.
Yeah. So it was, like, so that's why, like, she was challenged, because, like, that's why I think she has a crush on Haruki, but, like, she keeps beating him in arm wrestling, so she's waiting for the moment when he can beat her in arm wrestling, and then it'll prove that, oh, he's stronger than she is. Yeah, so a bunch of kaijus fucking swarm up everywhere. We got Takong, we got Astron.
You don't have Astron.
Oh.
We had Takon, King Gessera, Pagos, Gomez, and Demaga.
We did see Astron later.
Astron was in the visual... Astron was in episode 24 where he was localized at one of the kaiju vaults.
It's Gomez I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get those two mixed up. But no, I like it. It was specifically a 50-meter class Gomez.
Well, yeah, because remember in episode 1 they fought one that was like 20 meters tall or something?
Yeah, so it's like, oh my god, it's a 50-meter tall Gomez! Shit!
It digi-evolved!
No, but I like that. I like that these kaijus can come in like different
sizes,
different height classes.
Yeah, different scaling.
Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, I was glad to see Takong back. I missed him. Yeah, I still love that freaking just like, oh, boy didn't have tentacles. Yes, he did. Gar, look that.
Oh, fuck, he did.
Yeah, it was his son. Takong's son.
Yeah, it was nice to see Gomez again. Sucks that his vinyl figure didn't get reissued yet for the 55th anniversary.
And so, like, yeah, Altered Zero is sent to, like, go take care of a couple of them, and, like, you know, Yoko's overwhelmed, in which, like,
oh yeah,
the director who's being taken over by Cerebros is like, it's like, here's the G4 ray, do it,
do it,
do it, do it, do it, Officer Nakashima. And so she fires it, and like Zet's fighting Takong, getting his ass kicked.
Yeah,
because Takong's fucking awesome.
But we did get to see a cool underwater shot of Zet.
Yeah, I mean,
underwater. This episode does technically make it the highest numbered kaijus in one episode.
Yeah, there was like 6 of them?
5.
Oh, 5, okay.
Because again, Takon, King Gessera, Demaga, Gomez, and Pagos.
Yeah.
If you want to count Ultraman Zero, it's 6. Yeah, this episode was also directed by Koichi Sakamoto.
Yep.
And And basically episodes 23, 24, and 25 were all written by Koto Fukihara before he passed.
Yeah, because he said at the beginning, like, oh, I wrote the end.
Well, he wrote the ending.
Yeah, he said he wrote the ending, and then he was like going to write the story from there. Just be like, okay, how does this go into the ending?
So I guess in a sense they had to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, we have the ending. What do we do to get there?
Yeah.
Because like that was probably like never a thing they've encountered before, where it's like a writer wrote the ending first, and I was like, wait, what?
Well, to be fair, that's how I write sometimes.
Mm.
I have a beginning and I have an end.
Part of the journey is the end.
Which like I know how I want to end it, and I basically pinpoint ideas of how to progress the story to get to that finale.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I think of the ending because I'm like, okay, this isn't going to go on forever. It does have an ending.
I did like how Cerebros, though, like it was smart of him to take the director's body because he just had so much control.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm glad like in episode 21 or whatever like that, like we noticed that he was like being more of an asshole than usual. I was like, wait a minute, oh fuck. But then so like Ultroid Zero gets like taken down, and then like we see Heavy Kura show up, and then he like turns around, transforms into Jugless Juggler right in front of Haruki, and he's like, wait, what? He's like, I told you not to, divert your eyes or whatever like that.
I told you not to just look with it, to look with your eyes.
Yeah.
Basically saying there's more, in a sense.
It's more than meets the eye.
Oh my goodness, can I get Jugless Juggler to quote Optimus Prime? It's just Ultimate Orb's face and it gets flipped into Juggler.
Yeah. Fucking just do that. Hey, there you go. Jugless Juggler and Guy Kurenai are the fucking Optimus Prime and Megatron, fucking Ultraman.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, they're both fighting for the same thing. It's just they have different views of how to do it.
Yeah, but in a sense, that was basically episode 23, just a giant fight sequence.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, what can Ultroid Zero do? Which, again, fucking badass. Like, I hope they make a figure out of him because I might actually pick him up. So I'd like to get the figure arts of Savenger and then get Ultroid Zero and then get Wyndham.
Yeah. Because
I'd like to have like the storage mechs together.
Speaking of the storage mechs, freaking Haruki is looking up at the sky and be like, "Hey, those clouds look like the mechs.
I miss them.
I miss Avenger. He's adorable. His little Wally eyes. Is he Wally?
I think he could use a drill hand. That would be cool."
So, pretty much that, and then we lead into episode 24, the game to extinction.
And throughout, like, these episodes, we just keep hearing, like, the Cerebros, like, Celebro, like...
Yeah.
I love that sound. It's super cool.
It's very alien.
Yeah, and we actually get to see what he looks like. Like, it is...
Well, we've seen what he looks like. Episode 1, we saw him.
Well, yeah, very quickly though. That was always the thing. You always saw it very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But like he is like a parasite.
If anything, we see what he looks like more in the final episode.
Yeah, but he's kind of like a parasite kind of thing, he look like a Minoc mixed with a face hugger.
Kind of looks like a stingray a bit.
Yeah, well, like he looks like the mix between like a Minoc and a face hugger, because Minocs are from Star Wars. It was those things that were in Empire Strikes Back that were on the ship in the space war.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Minocs. But yeah, so like Juggler showed up as well in like his alien form, and like he's just so like we basically through these last 4 episodes we find out what the fuck Juggler's up to and what Celebos is also up to,
or Cerebro.
Yeah, like Cerebros.
Yeah,
like that's his name. So apparently Cerebros's thing is he goes from planet to planet, like summoning monsters, causing trouble on the planet so much to make civilization keep building weapons that just like to the point where it's so good that he like takes it over and destroys the planet itself, because he likes to see how far civilization can go to defend themselves, and then he destroys the planet with said thing that they built. So Juggler's job was to try to encourage both of them to keep doing that, and then he was gonna steal the weapon.
Zero.
Yeah, steal it himself because it's Juggler.
But how much crazier can you get by forcing a planet to create like chaotic weapons that will lead to the destruction of those civilizations. He has a name for it.
Yeah.
The Civilization Self-Destruction Game.
Yeah, because, like, I feel like he probably goes to planets that are, like, the most peaceful ever. Like, they're so pacifist, and, like, they don't believe in fighting, and forces them to, like, forces their hand to be like, hey, we need to build something that will, like, defend us from this thing.
And he, like, Cerebro here, he played the long game with this Earth.
Mm-hmm.
How long? 10 years.
Yep.
Apparently that Grigio Raiden that was found underground, he was the one that sent it and became the catalyst of, hey, maybe we should build mechs to take down these kaijus.
Yeah, that's why Avenger was a thing.
That's crazy.
That's awesome, actually. Like, when you find out the fullness of his plan, like, you think about it really hard and you're like, that's actually really cool.
Better than Gear's plan, Taiga, which was fucking nothing.
Oh, I'm gonna make Taro's son kill him. Ha 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 ha. Because I hate Taro. Because he's too good.
Okay, back.
But aren't you evil? Oh no, I don't like good or evil. But you're clearly evil. No, I'm not evil. But you do bad things, so you're no, not evil. Fuck darkness, fuck light. Nope.
He's trying to eat. He's trying to enjoy his cake and eat it too.
Yeah, like, no, but he said that in the Absolute Conspiracy episode about him. He's like, oh, fuck darkness, fuck light. Like, he doesn't care about either side.
Yeah, that's his catchphrase.
But he's still evil anyways. He still does bad shit. You're still evil.
It's malicious for his own game. Anyways.
He's the Joker of fucking Ultraman. That's basically it.
We'll be getting to that at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Not Absolute Conspiracy, but Tragear as a whole.
Yeah. Not Tragear's whole.
No.
Gross.
But yeah, Juggler's, like you mentioned, Juggler's
his
motives are revealed in this episode.
Yeah, so he wanted to take Ultraman Zero for himself so he could just use it.
But Juggler, why did you do this? Long ago, I cut down a big tree. It was to stop a war and to carry out my justice. But it was all spurned. It's like, oh, I get it. You're basically still being an ass about what happened in the Origin Saga.
Oh my god, I just realized. Do you know why he wants to steal Ultraman Zero? Because that's the closest to being an Ultraman he'll ever be. All of this was to get humanity to make a fucking robot that's as strong as Ultraman so he can be Ultraman. That's why! That's why he did it!
You bastard.
I fucking nailed it. That's why. Because the one thing he's always fucking wanted that he was jealous of Guy for was he got to be Ultraman and he couldn't. So he wants to be an Ultraman, so Ultraman Zero is that one step closer to getting to that goal. You motherfucker. Wow. And now we need to see Ultraman Juggler. Like, come on. Like, make a fucking, you know what? Ultra Galaxy fight. Do like he meets someone and he shows him an alternate universe where it's like, here's you if you were an Ultraman instead of Guy.
And like we see Guy as a Majin form.
Yeah, like you see him as Ultraman Juggler, and it's just like instead of the circle that Orb has, it's the crescent moon.
He has
got the sword.
He has Orb Caliber, but then Guy becomes the Majin form, which I can just see it being like Juggler, but instead of the brown, it's like a dull gray.
Yeah, gray and black or something.
Yeah, like gray and black.
And Subaru, if you're listening to this, there you go. Steal the idea. I don't care.
You can also steal our idea of what if universe Belial and Ken roles are reversed.
Yeah, like if Mary decided to go with Belial instead of Ken,
and Belial becomes father of Ultra, where Ken becomes Yami no Ultra or something.
Yeah, like Darkness of Ultra.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. I fucking figured it out. He wants to steal Ultraman Zero so he can be an Ultraman. Which now, I kind of wish we got to see him wield it at least once.
Pilot it.
Yeah, pilot it. That would have been great. But no, obviously, like,
What if he's stuck on this Earth?
I don't think so. We did find out though in the finale, because I missed this the last time we watched it. But like Haruki's talking to Juggler or whatever like that, and he's like, oh, well, can't you grow big? I used to. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I used to have that power, but I can't do it anymore. And I was like, oh, so I guess when he got like destroyed at the end of Orb.
I think, yeah, because I think what it was is like he was using the energy from the, like in Orb's finale, he was using the energy from the Earth to grow giant.
Okay, yeah.
Like he was using Magata no Orochi's like power.
Okay. But yeah, so I like that. I like that little interesting. It's like, oh, why can't he grow big? Oh, because like they just can't.
Also, when his dark Z Riser busted, it's literally the same shot of when his dark orb ring disintegrated in front of him.
No, so he's like, for fuck's sake,
broke it again.
But we did see him fight his Zapandon, which I was happy about.
Because gee, look who directed the episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's our good old orb buddy Kiyotaka Taguchi.
He's like, hey, I have my kaijus that I fucking like. We're in my show. I want to show them off. So yeah, so we get to see that Celebros fucking takes over Five King.
Yeah.
And then we see Juggler's Zapandon, which like
now I want to see a supercut of this like finale, like episodes 23, 24, and 25 as like a movie, like an hour-long movie.
That'd be fucking cool. But yeah, so like we see like Celebros is like a real bastard because he's like Haruki gets like defeated.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad we actually finally, because like I like that they start to do that in Ultraman shows now, where you see like what happens to each Ultraman when their color timer runs out of energy.
Which it's an interesting little visual thing too. When Zet disappeared, you saw 3 lights go off: Zero, Beyond, Jeed, and Belial. So it's like if the power is just scattered from the body.
Yeah, and like it's always nice to see like my favorite one still is from Jeed, like in like the final episodes where like he ran out of energy and then for 12 hours he just couldn't do anything.
Well, I remember
You just had to sit around, watch the fucking city get fucking torn to shit.
Yeah, episodes 11 and 12. It's like, oh yeah, even though freaking not Zapadon, the Zeton King Joe fusion was like destroying the cities. I couldn't do anything because I still had 8 hours left on my freaking timer.
And then you just had Rube. Sorry, what's going on? Katsuya! So funny. Bring Orb Dark back.
But we got a cool thing in this episode. We got to see Juggler in his Majin form, but with his human head.
That was kind of weird. It was cool, but it was kind of weird.
That to me was awesome. And now I'm just thinking, wait, did they have to rip off the mask of that suit?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, that's why I kind of took like I couldn't like take it too seriously because I'm like that's like it makes it seem like his head's a helmet. It's not. He either has to be in his human form or his monster form. Like, yeah, both.
But I wanted both.
Okay, well then there you go. Now they'll make another Juggler figure where it comes with a heavy Kura head.
Kiyotaka Taguchi wanted that.
Did he?
I don't know.
Oh, probably.
He directed Orb, so I'm guessing. You know what? I'm gonna do something I didn't do in Orb.
Yeah, Juggler with monster form, but he has head.
They basically Ultrarangered it. There.
But yeah, so I like that. Like Celebros has like Haruki, and he's like, kill him.
I'll kill him.
It's like, oh, you can take Ultra at 0 now, or kill this boy. You have a choice. And like at first, like Juggler's trying to be like all fucking cool and smug about it, being like, it's hardly a choice. And also, you take Ultra at 0. And then he thought about it. And he's like, fuck's sake. Like I could hear it in his head. He's just like, damn it,
guy. Yeah. Guy would probably not let him down if he found out a fellow. Not only if
he got a fellow Ultra killed.
Not only a fellow Ultra killed, an innocent human killed.
Yeah, because like I could just fucking hear it. Like he'd mutter Guy's name under his breath, just be like, "Fucking Guy." I wouldn't hear the end of the fucking.
Damn it, Guy.
And you know, deep down, Juggler cares about these people. Otherwise, he wouldn't have started what he did in the finale.
If anything, Juggler played the long game as well.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, why didn't you do anything with Cerebro? I basically stalled until we got Ultraroid 0.
Yeah, he was on both sides, encouraging both sides to keep at it with each other. So that was clever.
What wasn't clever though was both these episodes both have the same fault, and that's Haruki. It's the thing that we already brought up though. Haruki's wearing a different outfit, but when he's in the Hero's Gate, he's still wearing the storage uniform.
It's like in Rube, that fucking bothered me because it's like, well, I didn't think he wearing the same clothes. Oh, because it's stock footage. That's why, like, I didn't mind like in G. It's like, okay, Riku always wears the same fucking outfit. Yeah. That's fine.
But it's like especially in episode 23, it kind of bugs me because he's in just civilian outfit, and when he's in the Hero Gate, he's in his storage uniform.
Yeah.
I'm like, does he just keep a storage uniform in the Hero Gate?
Yeah.
Because, again, it's a scheduling thing. They probably just filmed it. They probably just film, like, them in batches.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, like, okay, Haruki's actor, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. I need you on set for this day. Make sure you're wearing this outfit. This outfit, specifically. Okay, thanks.
Also, the director, he like was showing everyone in the storage facility like the footage of like Heavy Kurita and Juggler. He's like, well, look at that, Juggler's an alien. And they're like, which means the other storage members, yes, could be aliens as well. If they do anything suspicious,
do something about it.
And weapon, free use of weapons as well. So then, like, you see Yoko standing, looking at Ultraman Zero, just kind of, like, looking at it. And where, like, Celebros is just, like, standing with her, and it's just like, huh. Just going from planet to planet, it's been pretty fun. And, like, you realize, like, you think he was going to make, like, a really inspirational speech to her, but then, like, he's just kind of exposing himself, and she's like...
But this moment always excites me. It's a wonderful spectacle. To see fools destroyed by a weapon of their own making, and hear their cries of agony. I implant fear into planets with civilizations. They make weapon after weapon to defend themselves. And finally, with a weapon they created, they destroy their entire civilization. That's deep and dark.
Yeah, and it's just called the Civilization Self-Destruction game.
So, it kind of reminds me of Lifeform Zero from Kuga.
And then I gotta give credit to Yoko's actor in these last two episodes. So, like, Celebros, like, takes over Yoko's body, and so you kind of just see her, like, hunched over, slouched, back arching forward, her hair dangling over her face, and you just see her kind of just, like, waving her arms, and you just hear that. And you just see her, like, go up right up to the camera, you see one of her eyes is, like, bright red, and she's just like, got it. And then she grabs the medals from the director's body.
Oh, by the way, the director stole back the Belial medal.
Yes.
After being Haruki. He's like, mine?
Threw one of the medals into the Ultraman Zero.
Belial's.
Oh, it was a Belial medal?
Yeah, because that's the only one he took.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like, this is mine.
So through that, and then you just see Ultraman Zero climbing out of the hangar. And, like, it was actually a really fucking cool shot.
You know what would have made it a bit more disturbing? So the fourth gate open. It's like distorted. Yeah. Fourth gate open. As he flies off, as if like, oh shit.
Yeah, and then like eventually like, well, the Red King got fucking killed. Yeah, like the mother got killed, like protecting its egg. And you see like Ultraman Zero just like disintegrate the fucker, and I was like, oh my god! It's like that scene in Ragnarok where like Grandmaster is executing that guy beside Thor, and Thor's like, oh my god! Like that's how fucking brutal it was. He becomes Destrudos.
Yes. True.
Sorry, I gotta do a little guitar thing. Destrudos. Which, pretty terrifying looking. And I like that he had a little bit of Ultraman Zero's like head kind of stuck to the side of him.
Yeah, on both sides. Like, one was on his shoulder, and the other was, like, up on his head.
Yeah, and then, like, you see, like, the cockpit or whatever where Ultraman Zero was, is, like, all, like, tangled up and fucked. It kind of remind me of the fungus from Super Mario Brothers movie. Mm. And then, yeah, you just see Yoko just fucking going full ham on just playing this role. And, like, I gotta give her credit. She did a really fucking fantastic job.
Yoko Cerebrico.
We also get a really fucking touching scene, which I think it was in episode 24 with, like, Bako and Haruki in the car.
Yeah, so, yeah, Haruki got his ass handed to him.
Handed to him.
By freaking Five King.
Yeah.
Not to mention the color timer ran out.
Yeah.
So he ends up in the hospital. He and Mr. Bako, like, they're trying to get to the director because Haruki knows who the director is.
And Haruki needs to go, but, like, they're like, no, you're injured, like, you can't. And it's like, Bako's like, I'll drive.
Yeah, I'll drive you. Let's go. And, like, as they're driving along, Yuka contacts Haruki and Bako from her office, saying that, like, oh, Red King's, the Red King that Ultraman protected, it's being attacked. And Haruki tells Bako to stop the car. And it's just like, where are you going? And it's one of those things where I just gotta love it. No words are being expressed.
Haruki just looks at him. Bako's just looking back at him, and he just goes, oh, of course. And he just clicks and he realizes it.
I just love it because Mr. Bako's not like, what? Or like he's not like astonished or like in shock or like confused. It's just a little like it's the smallest reflection in his face of just I
yeah,
get
and
it.
you kind of see like a smile on him, just being like, huh, that makes so much sense now, actually. God damn it. And then you just see Haruki exit the car, activate the hero gate, and just walk in.
But I just love it because there's no music. It's not stretched out. It's just stop the car. Why? Just the look of just them looking at each other. Bako finally gets it. He's just like, I see.
Cause like how Bako is written, like he was written like a captain would be in an Ultraman series, but like, cause like think of it. You know, he's the oldest of them. He has the most, like, backstory, the most badass experience. He has, like, the kid that he kind of has a falling out with. And then he's usually, like, they're usually the first one to find out that, like, you know, the character's an Ultraman. Mm-hmm. But, like, with Juggler, you can't do that because he's the captain, but, like, it's Juggler. We know what Juggler is. We know his past. Knows. Yeah. But Bako is written with some, like, characteristics that, like, a captain in an Ultraman series would have. So I like that.
Which is why I think Heavy Current and Juggler. It's like Heavy Current and Bako were, like, kind of the closest with each other. Whenever they were on screen with each other. Mm-hmm. They were always getting along well.
Yeah. But just, like, that scene was so fucking good. It's like the joke just, like, what this does. Oh, I'm Ultraman now. Huh.
But yeah. So, how does the fight with Destros go? Well, yeah, pretty much. Without the Belial metal, freaking Zet can't become Delta Rise Claw, nor can he summon the Belial Rock, which I do have to question later on. And yeah, he gets obliterated.
So much to the point
by the D4 ray.
Yeah, like so much to the point that like Haruki almost like is like about to die.
He pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was confused at first when we first watched it when it came out on YouTube, but now actually sitting down and focusing on like the script, it made a bit more sense to me. So it is kind of cute because they go into like this little pocket dimension thing for Zet and Haruki, and it's supposed to be an homage to how when Zoppy and Ultraman talked in the final episode of Ultraman, which is weird, which is also somewhat weird because this isn't technically the first time Koto Fukihara did something like this, because he also wrote Kaiju Club, where they did the exact same thing in episode 3. So I just have a strange feeling. Was this like one of Koto Fukihara's like favorite episodes of Ultraman?
Yeah, maybe.
Or like favorite moments?
Yeah. And so basically Zed just says to Haruki, like, because like you see Haruki's like unconscious and Zed talks to him, he's like, if you transform like one more time, like you will die, so I cannot let that happen to you. So like this is it. Like this is goodbye.
Like it's not like because a lot of people could like probably interpret that of like, oh, but he said you couldn't transform again. No, Zet's basically not wanting to transform again.
Yeah, he doesn't want to endanger Haruki's life again.
Because he knows they don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
In which Zet himself, like this is how you can see how Zet has grown as a character, and definitely this moment here definitely exceeds expectations for the show. Because when this show was first announced, it was like, oh, he's the disciple of Zet and he's a hothead. So to have him be concerned about Haruki and be worried for his own life, and to feel how he mentioned sorrow and doubt, that was not what I was expecting from that show.
Yeah, because like I just figured like, he'd try to like be like Zero all the time, and Zero would show up all the time in the show and just be like, oh my god, like, I want to make Zero proud, but like, no, actually being with Haruki and like being on this planet for like a long time, he just like grew and stuff. But like, we'll get into that when we talk about the overall discussion of the series. But yeah. It was a very touching scene. So then it like ends with like, I guess like Haruki woke up like days later or something like that.
Yes.
It felt like that.
If anything, Hebikura probably found him, and then he's probably been knocked out for like 3 days. Because
he wakes up, he sees Hebikura, and he's like fucking bastard.
Because Yuka does mention that Destros has been going around the world destroying all the major cities.
Yeah, like we cut to him in Los Angeles, and like we hear like people like the military, like American military, trying to fight him, and just like nope. No, it's like we already done once with Godzilla. We can't do it twice.
I can't go back, man. I can't do it. But yes, but Hebikura makes up the plan of storming the base to stop Destros.
Yeah, which they do, and then like we get this awesome fucking shot of Juggler
transforming.
Which I will say, so yeah, the finale called Warrior Shine Beyond, and it shows like the title card background.
Yeah,
it's a picture of Haruki and Zed like back to back, and that was great. Like I remember Gar like going like, oh, it's such a good background. It's pretty.
I wish Subaraya released them without the titles, and so it's like you get that cool collage like artwork. Because a lot of these episodes have some really good ones, especially episodes 23, because it has like the silhouettes of every kaiju on there.
Yeah, like I like that each Ultraman series kind of like tries to keep faith to that.
I think it's since Orb we've been getting that style of like design.
Yeah.
For artwork, which I'm glad that it's. Well, I think aside from Taiga changed it up.
Mm-hmm. Like, so this is directed also by the Orb director, right?
Yes.
So he's just like, all right, you guys, like, I'm gonna give the Juggler fanboys what they want. I'm gonna give a quick action montage scene of just like him just fucking going to town on people, which does it harmlessly.
Yeah, knocks them all out.
Just knocks them all out, and then he's just like, hey, I wasn't an art bitch.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's quickly bring her up. My Yuki was in the last 5 episodes of Zet. She did nothing. Yeah,
like she was basically there just to kind of be like she was like the head director behind Ultraman Zero. Like it was kind of her baby.
Yeah.
So like she's basically the equivalent to Bako.
But I'm guessing again, it was probably a Kota Fukihara situation of he wrote the character in to these last few episodes.
And they just didn't know what to do with her.
And they didn't know what to do with her because passed away.
But yeah, so like they go in and like Hebikura like gives them like a nice speech, and it's just like, we all gotta come back so we can enjoy Bako's fucking awesome tuna, and like
today we are canceling the apocalypse.
Yeah, basically he was just pulling a fucking Pacific Rim. And
they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedoms.
And just like they put their hands all together. It's like, oh, storage! Yeah, I was like, that's a really touching moment. Like, it's great. And, like, Haruki's just like, Also, we did see him in one of the earlier episodes where, like, Yoko, like, says goodbye to him or something like that, and he's just like, take this! Yeah, like, he basically, him scoring or something with her. Which, like, we have a moment with her earlier, too, where it's like, oh, so like if I beat you in arm wrestling, I have to marry you, and she's like, maybe.
But wasn't that moment where it's just like the quick silent moment of like before he does the whole punching thing? I'm like, that's when he realizes. That's when you realize that he's in love with her.
Yeah, no, he does. They like each other.
So the plan is simple. When Destros comes back to Japan, they're going to send out the mechs piloted by Haruki Hebikura and Mr. Bako.
Mr. Bako.
Yuka stays at the base and figures out where Yoko is in Destros. Once they find out where she is, they can remove her from Destros, and thus we can destroy Destros once and for all.
Yeah.
Without killing our friend Yoko.
Hey.
Because, it's last 2 seasons of Ultraman, we had to sacrifice someone.
Yep.
Looking at you, Asahi and Parika. But no. Justice once. Everybody lives.
Yeah. And so it was great that we got to see, like, Wyndham, King Joe, and then, fight, and then eventually we get Mr. Bako in Avenger, and he's like, "This may be an antique, but still fucking run." And then he like puts like a drill arm on Avenger's like right hand arm, which is pretty cool.
Which it's kind of funny because after this episode's release, SH Figuarts Avenger got announced with a drill attachment hand.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they were waiting until the finale.
Yeah, to just be like,
here's your drill hand.
Drill hand. And so
he's gonna pierce the heavens with that.
And also, I like that he came by and he gave him a spare had a spare battery for Wyndham. He's like, "Hey, there you go." I'm like, "How the fuck is Avenger lasting longer than Wyndham? Like, that's so weird."
He's probably been modified a bit.
I guess so.
But maybe it's this. Maybe since he was deactivated, all that battery saved up in him.
Yeah.
To make him go for longer.
So Yuka figures out where Yoko is, and so like they
it's
get
in
her
like
out,
the chest.
and she's like, So
we get this weird scene of like it's her subconscious or like, but like you hear the hero gate noise. So I'm thinking, is this Yoko's hero's gate?
I don't know.
Or is it her We don't really know.
It's like Yoko trapped inside herself, and so like Haruki's there and like tries to remind her like who she is, and then like they sit down, they have an arm wrestling match, which Haruki finally beats her, and he's just like, "Yeah, I won! I finally won! I'm strong, Yoko. I'm strong." And so like she comes to her senses and gets her out, but they're falling.
Oh yeah. Freaking this episode with its visual effects, like they're flying around, they're up in the...
Yeah, it reminded me of freaking when in episode 1 of Orb, when like guy was like in the they're like
in the car,
the
tornado,
the hurricane, like that was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
love that. But yeah, so he's falling, and like he's just like, "Sen, we need to transform one more time." And so like Yoko has the blow metal, so she's like, no, put the blow metal in the thing. And so he's like trying to, and they do it together.
And they're doing it as they're falling.
Yeah, as they're falling. Like I'd be terrified. I'd be screaming my ass off.
But it's like it is a cool way. Like it is a cool way to do like a final transformation sequence aside from the whole running on the ground, turning into the Ultraman.
Yeah, so he finally gets to use Delta Rise Claw against
Destros,
and so you hear like the ending theme playing while he's fighting. No, you can hear the ending theme playing, and then you get the opening because like he goes base form. That was fucking great. I'm finally glad we got to see him fight in base form,
and that's where I think his character has finally come full circle.
Where he can fight in base form now.
He no longer has to rely on other people because he believes in himself.
Yeah, because like with Orb, with his fusions, he used them because he didn't want to use his original form.
Well, no, he couldn't because he lost the Orb caliber.
Oh yeah, that's true. But like it was also kind of a thing where it's like, using that was like bad. I got almost the love of my life killed.
Yeah, obliterated. Just obliterated the entire forest. No biggie.
Almost killed Russia.
It grew back in 100 years.
1916. It was a different time.
It was 1919. It was in the 1900s, early 1900s.
Yeah, 1910s. So we hear the theme song playing while fucking Zed's going off in base form, and then we just see this awesome thing where Destros like fires like the D4 ray out of him or whatever like that, but then you see Zed using his beam, but then he harnesses the energy more by like turning it into a fucking Zed in the shape of a Zed, and I was like, yeah, and just fucking blows them fuck up.
Destros is defeated, and like everyone now knows that Haruki's freaking Ultraman Z, Heavy Kura, and Bako give each other like an awesome bro handshake.
Yeah!
Yeah, like this, both look at each other, and like the camera zooms in on them, like, yeah!
Yeah. And so that's the battle. So like again, surprised like Zero didn't show up or anything like that. So like,
I think
like the Ultraman didn't overstay their welcome. So
I think that's it. They didn't overstay their welcome because this is Ultraman Z's show.
I know
He told us he got this.
because like I did get overly excited when I found out that G was going to be in it because like I thought G was going to stay as like a character the whole time.
And then he proceeded to only be here for 3
And I was
episodes
like, no.
of 25.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I got enough G that I was satisfied. So
You got enough Gene until the next time he shows up.
exactly. You know what? More Riku the better. I love my sweet boy.
So it is cute though that Zet tries to do like a dynamic like farewell scene where like he flies and then he proceeds to crash like a mile away.
Yeah, and even like Haruki's just like, yeah, I try to be fucking cool. And then like you see like a cute thing where like Yoko like hits him, like punches him in the arm. It's like, you idiot. And then like he's like, oh, Haruki hugs her, and you just see like Haruki just being like, oh yeah, cool. And then Yoko, idiot, like punches him again because it's like someone that's supposed to be. I would have loved if she just like if this was more like kind of like mature. Like I feel like she would have planned like a nice fucking wet kiss on him.
I think since it is tokusatsu, you can't really have characters kissing. Boy show, girls have cooties.
Come on, no one believes in cooties anymore.
That's why we must keep the legend alive.
No, maybe I should go to schools and just like interview kids. Like, do you guys believe in cooties?
But I feel like if this was an American show, they probably would have kissed.
I would have been. I was hoping they would kiss.
But I think that's why they did the hug.
Yeah, the hug's the closest to like a fucking kiss you're gonna get in a toku.
Yeah, pretty much hugging a loved one in a tokusatsu show is the equivalent to a kiss.
Yeah.
Unless you're the Scheider movie that gets away with it.
Yeah. Oh, I love the Scheider movie.
So, hang on, are we missing someone from this finale? Hang on, we got Haruki. We got Yoko, Yuka, Heavy Kura, Bako.
Kaburagi?
Oh, that's right. So before the final scene, Kaburagi shows up with Yuka, finds Cerebro, and he's like, "Oh, I can't wait to dissect you, you motherfucker."
Also, we get to see Juggler back in his suit.
Yeah, so
that made Gar gush. He was like, "Yeah, he's in the suit."
And he has like the metal freaking earring,
like earpiece.
Yeah, earpiece, and like he has his bonsai tree.
It's just like, I got it. And so, like, yeah, they capture, Yuka and Kaburagi capture the Celebros or whatever, and then, like Yuka's just like, Juggler, Captain, are you gonna come back? And he's just, bye. Just walks away.
I like that.
Doesn't give her a straight answer.
I think it's the moments without the music that do really good.
Yeah.
Because it's her, like she just found out that he's an alien.
Yeah. Which she immediately wanted a fucking clip of his hair.
Clip of his hair, a piece of his skin. Like, to learn more. But then just no clear answer from Juggler. It's like, will we ever see you again? See ya.
Bye.
And just...
Who knows when we'll see you again.
But I'm just happy that Kaburagi came back for the finale. Even if it was just for one scene.
Him and Yuka are going to be a thing.
But him capturing Cerebro made me really happy because it's like, yeah, he gets his revenge.
Yeah, because he was just this tool for this alien parasite the whole fucking three-quarters of the show.
Okay. And I also thought the director Kuriyama was dead. I thought he died.
No.
But no, according to some guards, he's in the hospital.
Yeah, he's in the hospital because he was probably took a lot out of him.
Which is why I thought I killed him. I'm like, oh no, he's good. Okay.
So it ends in a way that I actually wasn't expecting it to go. So Haruki just decides to go with Zed to help other people in the universe because it's like there's other people suffering out there. So I'm gonna go help them.
There's more devil splinters.
So
out there.
I don't think I've ever seen an Ultraman series where it ends with like the host wanting to go with the Ultraman. So that's interesting because like Taiga didn't end that way. Rube and with them just being like, "Okay, we're gonna go do our things that we were dreamt of doing." Riku is his own Ultraman.
Him and Orb are their own power sets.
Exactly.
Ginga, Victory are technically still active.
Yeah, so
But
like
it's one of those things of like if we do need them, they will show up.
yeah, but yeah, so like I gotta say that it was a surprise for sure, but it was a good way of ending it because like Harky just like he wants to do more in life and like try to help out more people because he's such a kind guy. Like that's what I've learned over the show about him. Like Harky's like so kind, such a good-hearted person. He just wants the best for like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so it ends with like him wanting to go with Zed, and then like he's just like, oh, they'll promise to visit in summer and New Year's, and Yoko's just like, only 2 times a year, you fucking better not, you piece of shit. And like all of them are actually genuinely like really sad to see him go because it's like oh, it's not gonna be the same without you.
And I even do like how when he does transform, it is into Ultraman Z as himself.
Yeah, I like that because it showed.
Oh yeah, Belial Rock sacrificed himself.
And then he came back and he's like, yeah, I'm immortal, bitch. And I was like, I was happy about that because I'm like, yeah, that's right, because Belial's never truly dead. He lives on.
Because the Belial Rock is the Fred in the universe that keeps things intact. So of course he would still be alive.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I figured it'll cut interesting shit if I'm stick with you guys.
But that was the thing that I had the question, like, wait, if you can just be summoned at any time, why didn't you come and help the first time we fought? Alright,
whatever.
But yeah, as they fly off into space, Haruki and Ultraman Z do a schwa together.
Yeah, schwa!
And like they make a giant Zen space, and just like it's one of those things where like the credits are rolling as well, right as the ending sequence happens. In the special episode Restorage, they actually do showcase some of the finale without the credits.
Oh, cool.
But what got me, man, is the whole in memory of Koto Fukihara.
Yeah, they really honored the writer, and that was really, really touching. So.
And that is the end of Ultraman Z, and I gotta say, as a finale, it knocked it out of the park.
See. This is the series. This. I was saying this from the very beginning since Taiga ended. I was just like, whatever this show's going to be, it's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to nail it. It's going to be it's going to be the show that we wanted Taiga to be. And like, and it did it. It nailed it. It's so good. Such good writing.
Nailed it.
Good cast of characters. Brought back a fucking favorite that we like all love, Juggler. Like because like we made the fucking jokes being when we saw him, we're like, oh, he's Juggler. And then just the show literally went, yeah, it's Juggler, and we're like,
we're not gonna
sugarcoat it.
Yeah, we're not gonna sugarcoat it. Episode 5, Juggler.
Just preview. There he is. It's like, what? Yeah, didn't see any scans or anything like that, which I'm glad because like Ultraman doesn't really do scans that often, and when they do, they're very brief and it's very far apart.
Yeah, because it's not like, oh, here's all the spoilers for the next arc. It's just like, hey, this monster's showing up.
Oh, Ace is going to show up at some point. You don't know when, but
here's a power. Here's an image of the next power up.
Yeah, here's his found form. Okay. But yeah, it's just like, what can I say? Like Haruki was just a great protagonist, like just heart of gold, such a good fun character, very full of energy. Like, every time he was like, oh, it's like you always want to do that. I love that he was like constantly training constantly. Also, I liked it when he was doing his little training montage, he was thinking back to Mikura grabbing his ass. I was like, that's something you really think about a lot, don't you?
I had very low expectations for this show. And when I mean low, I mean very low. Because it's like, oh, it's a Zero sort of focused season. Okay.
Everyone loves Zero.
It's just, oh, he's a hothead. Okay, let's...
Like, for me, it was just, like, going off of Taiga, I was just, like, and, like, Taiga I just didn't enjoy that much just because, like, I already explained, like, my reasons why I didn't like it. But then you just, like, I was like, you know what, this new series is going to be really cool. I think it's going to be better than Taiga because it's only focusing on one Ultraman. That's all we're getting is just one Ultraman, the whole fucking series. And as long, like, I even said, like, as long as the show has a strong cast, like a decent villain, and like, oh, Jeet's gonna show up in it? Alright, fine, I already love it. It has Jeet in it, that's cool. And then you're like, oh man, like, great if Epicure was Juggler, and then There you go. You got your favorite character. I got my favorite character. So we both got what we wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it was. You gotta thank Taiga in a sense, because it really was just. Eh.
Yeah, which I will say we did watch the Taiga movie because it finally got subbed.
Yeah.
Which we will talk about, but it did give us closure to Taiga overall, and which made it go, okay, that wasn't too bad.
But again, we'll get into that at the end of the month there.
Mm-hmm.
Just Ultraman Z blew up. Maybe it's because Subaraya was just like, hey, what if we release the show on YouTube with English subtitles?
That was the smart thing too.
Available worldwide.
Weekly. You can watch it every week as it comes out.
Yeah, it wasn't like Ruber Taiga where we had to wait until like March to get the finale.
No, and that's why like I just decided for us, because like we were so close to like finishing this in time for the shows being done, that I was just like, let's fucking,
let's just focus on that.
Yeah, we'll finish it and get back to our other shows later.
So I guess we should just go over each character quickly.
So again, Haruki, like I said, Heart of Gold. Like, such a strong protagonist. Like, he was dealing with stuff himself and just very energetic. I loved his energy. His whole, like, us thing. Like, take that! Like, that was really cool. And just, like, a bit oblivious to shit. Sometimes he wasn't the brightest bulb in the room, but it didn't matter because he was able to just, like, kind of take it over.
Yeah.
And just, that's what I loved about him the most, was just he had a heart of gold. I loved him for that.
Definitely have to say, though, Haruki as a character, probably one of the more fully developed characters in Ultraman in recent years.
Yeah, because, like, again, like, with Taiga, Hiroyuki.
Aside from that one flashback scene.
Yeah, good kid, but, like, we knew nothing about him. Didn't know what his interests were. Like, he didn't have interests. All he cared about was work and just being the best at his job. That's all he cared about.
So he's SpongeBob.
Yeah, kinda.
A horrible SpongeBob, because at least with SpongeBob we know what his other interests are.
But then you have Haruki, where it's just like, oh, why did you get into this work? Oh, because my dad was a firefighter and he saved people and he died saving us from a fucking kaiju attack. Like, he got killed himself in the process, but he saved as many people as he could. And then when he was going through a tough, conflicted thing with himself and Zed, he took this as an opportunity to go, okay, I'm going to go quickly back in time and get my dad to give me some fatherly advice on what I'm dealing with, and then it helped him develop. And it was fucking awesome. It's probably some of the best episodes of this series.
You're telling me a main character in a tokusatsu show has a life outside of his main work and hero business?
Right? Like, he went home, visited his mom.
I think the only thing we didn't see is his actual home life, which we rarely do because that's too much in the budget.
Exactly, yeah. Like, we know that, like, we know that, like, in their spare time, like, like, Haruki just works out all the time. Like,
that's it. He's into martial arts. He cares about helping people.
He barely eats. That was the thing, because, like, Yoko was always pushing him to eat more.
Well, I think that's why Yoko is a good pairing with him, because, like you said, he's oblivious to some things. Not realizing, oh, maybe I should eat more.
Yeah, and like Yoko's just kind of like that bro, just that bro you have at work, where it's just like, come on, man, let's go out and get some beers. Fucking watch the game, have a good time. And Haruki's like, well, it doesn't sound all that bad.
Sounds like
sure.
fun.
All right, let's fucking do it. If you beat me in arm wrestling, you marry me. Oh, okay. Well, what? Huh?
So I guess we should talk about Yoko. Yeah, she
hot.
I hate to admit it, she does sort of beat Liha for me from Jeed.
Wow.
Because it's like, oh, okay. Like I like Liha. Both her and Yoko have the same thing in common, which is the mothering. Like they both mother the hero in a sense.
Well, it's
Well,
Yoko.
not-
Yoko wasn't really more of a mother. She was more like a big sister.
Yeah.
To him. It was just kind of like, because like for me, like she's like very masculine, like tomboyish, which like I like that in women. That's like my usually go-to woman I like is just like a bit of masculinity. But like it's just for me still Moa is from Jean is my Ultraman waifu just because she's just so pretty and like it just like kind of ditzy attitude like I really liked, and also just where she saw Riku as a brother but then also kind of loved him. No, I just kind of thought that was weird. But just yeah,
like the clip episodes that where it's just like, oh, I'm heading out for the night, bye, and like Haruki comes back first thing in the morning, realizes Yoko brought him breakfast, like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, and like she's like, you know, her thing is she likes older men because older men are usually stronger guys, and like found out she kind of has a thing for Bako when she found out he has a daughter. She was kind of like, oh,
well, there goes that.
That's a deal breaker right there.
Yeah, there's the deal breaker. A daughter that's younger than her.
But I wish we kind of got more episodes focused on her, like maybe like something around her. We didn't get too much because she was just kind of like a support character.
Yeah.
But honestly, what she could do in those mechs was just, oh yeah, she was an ace pilot.
So I heard a lot of people complain about this show about it didn't do much story wise. It was more of an episode by episode thing. But with Ultraman, I don't mind that.
No,
because Ultraman's definitely more of a substance thing of like, you can you can watch any episode and enjoy it for what it is.
Because like the beginning of the show is always like a good story, and then the finale is always just like a continuous story.
And then you get like usually you get your clip episode, but you get the 2-parter before that, and you get the 2-parter after it, which those are really good stories as well sometimes.
Yeah, Yuka,
I feel
adorable.
I unfortunately think she, aside from Yoko, is the most underdeveloped character in the show.
But I loved her enthusiasm. I love that every time she just shined that bright smile of hers, I was just like, oh my god.
Though to be fair, Yuka did get her own like standalone episode.
She did,
where Yoko did not.
Yeah.
Every episode Yoko did, it was always with another person.
But like Yuka reminded me of myself because like her excitement reminded me of me when I get excited for something. Like when you know me, you've lived with me for a long time, so you know when I get excited for something, like I go over the top about it. I'm just like, yeah! Oh my god! Like I'm losing my fucking shit. Like it's like that really huge excitement, and that's why I liked her, because I just liked how she loved her job. She was the one who had to like analyze the kaijus, and she wanted to learn more about them. So she always like got excited when the new piece would come in. She's like Charlie Day's character in Pacific Rim, where it's like, oh my god, so like he goes into freaking Chow's fucking kaiju thing, and he's just like, oh my fucking god, it's a full, holy shit, you could get these, and like yeah, like I feel like if Yuka was in Pacific Rim, she'd just be fucking losing it.
She and Charlie Day would be all over it. If I did have to say anything about Yuka, I think they were trying to hint at something, like there was more to her. Especially with the whole Ouroboros thing of, oh, he only awakens every 300 and something years, but she's only 20, and she saw him as a little kid.
Yeah, but maybe that was just like, I don't know, maybe that was a different Ouroboros.
Maybe it was this giant oops.
Yeah, but I feel like the Z movie, like all these Ultraman movies are usually like good like closures to their respective series. So, Mr. Bako. What? Nothing wrong with him. He was written like a captain. Like definitely, like he was the head mechanic of storage. He was in charge of making these robots, keeping them in ship shape.
What if that was like the loophole, or like or he was the scapegoat? If they couldn't get Juggler's actor back for this show,
he was going to be the captain, Captain Bako.
Yeah, he probably was going to be the captain.
Yeah, because they gave him like he had that tough exterior. You know, he was always like really hard on everyone and like keep encouraging them. Gave him the kid episode. Yeah, the daughter episode. Yeah,
because as we mentioned, couldn't really do the captain child episode because as we know at this moment, Juggler doesn't have any other family.
But no, he was great. He was fun. I like that. Like every time, like he'd do something like that we wouldn't expect of him. He was just like, it's just something I picked up on the way.
The tuna thing beating up the alien Barossa twice. The man can pilot Avenger, like freaking the rocket launcher.
Yeah, just fucking stop making my daughter sad. That was awesome.
And he was dedicated to something. He was dedicated to it.
Yeah. Juggler. Can't go wrong with Juggler.
You cannot go wrong with Juggler.
Like, good on him for being a good, like, having a nice human side to him. Because, like, you know, you could tell that he kind of enjoyed this, like, double life.
Well, I thought of it differently. Which I brought this up a few weeks ago before the finale came out. Like, before we even got into the finale. But this was my big thing, or like my big theory in a sense about Heavy Kura.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just Juggler's journey as a character. You start him off in the origin saga, where he believed he was meant to be chosen by the Hero's Peak to become a Warrior of Light, but he didn't get accepted.
No.
So it was kind of bugging him a bit to the point where, you know, during the war on Planet Cannon, he turned into his Majin form, destroyed the Tree of Life, in a sense saved the day, but as he mentioned, people didn't consider it that way.
No.
People considered him as a villain. So by that point, he started to learn, alright, if I'm going to be the villain, I'm going to be the best villain at it. So instead of going for light, he chose darkness, as mentioned in the Ultraman Orb show. And as the show went along, by Orb's finale, he teams up with Guy to destroy Maga no Orochi. This leads into him trying to redeem himself. In the Jeed movie, where he shows up again, he's trying to help out. Like, there's Givalis with all the Galactrons. He's trying to help out, but this is the thing. I have a feeling from his name alone, he tainted his own reputation, and thus he creates the persona of Heavy Kura. A persona that allows him to be a good person. To fix his mistake.
Yeah, go to an Earth where no one knows him, no one knows who he is, no one else who knows him knows where he is, and he's like, you know what? I can do this if I'm a human, because humans are good people.
And that's why I think he has the bonsai tree. The bonsai tree on his desk represents his origin of where his life took him on the dark past. It all started with the destruction of the Tree of Life. So he's taking care of that tree and a reflection of his life to never destroy the tree again.
God, they made a really complex character, didn't they?
And that's how I feel like Juggler's character has come full circle.
Yeah. Because now, like, he knows he's a good person, but then, like, when, like, Yuka's is like, oh, we'll see you again. And he's like,
Bye.
I don't know.
Because I think he won't stick around now that like his identity has been exposed.
Exactly.
Like, everyone knows who I am now. He's got a bail.
But yeah, deep down, he probably does want to be a good person, but also the one thing he knows, he wants to be a good guy. He wants to be an Ultraman. That's his goal, and that's why he probably wants to steal Ultra Zero, because it's like, okay, I'm gonna have a robotic Ultraman as close as I can be. But then it's just also a matter of, like, he's been evil, but now he's trying to be good, and maybe just he's trying to be good enough that he can be recognized and by a power and become Ultraman. So, like, God, who knows? Maybe down the road, Juggler will be the protagonist in his own story, and then he'll become the Ultraman that he's always wanted to be.
The Warrior's Peak will finally accept him as a true warrior.
He can't be selfish to be an Ultra. He has to be selfless to be an Ultra.
Which that will probably be it'll probably be like, we'll probably see Juggler down the road one last time. He'll do a heroic sacrifice in which he'll finally, it's kind of like how in the Thor movie where Thor sacrificed himself against the giant robot thing, and like he's about to die, but then the hammer comes back to him as his father learns that, like, he finally understands what self-sacrifice means.
Don't be an Ultraman because you want to be. Be an Ultraman because you have to be.
And that's the overall message of Ultraman. They don't come to Earth to beat up the monsters because they have to. They want to. Well, not because they want to or they should.
It's what they're born to do.
It's the right thing to do because we as humans in most of these shows can't defend ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good finale for Ultraman Z. Hey, we created something so that we no longer have to rely on Ultraman.
Yeah.
But even Yuka brings it up when they're doing the press conference saying, "Oh, we're here to protect the Earth." You're not here to protect the Earth. You're here to protect the humans. You don't care about the Earth.
Yeah. What can I say? Scavenger. Awesome. Love my robot boy. So cool.
Scavenger was definitely the MVP in the beginning of this show.
Yeah. But then you just like King Joe's Storage Custom happened, and I was just like, it was something I didn't know I wanted so badly, and it was awesome. King Joe's Storage Custom was so fucking cool. So much that I was like, I want the toy of that, which you nicely gifted me that for Christmas. So thank you very much for that.
You're
and
welcome.
I will treasure it so much because it's great. And Wyndham, you're just like, oh, he's another robotic kaiju. So
Wyndham, I feel like did get the shaft a bit because I think it's because like Wyndham already has the credibility of being like the first helpful kaiju.
yeah, because he's from Ultra 7,
He's from
and
Ultra 7.
Zero's the son of Ultra 7, so it's like there's your Ultra 7 reference.
First capsule monster.
Yeah.
And you know, this is a toy commercial. We got hey, have we released the Wyndham vinyl figure yet?
No.
We'll put them in the show.
All right, cool. DX Wyndham 2022.
Coming never.
Yeah, Ultroid Zero, cool. I'm glad the mechs actually got like a lot of attention the way they did.
And like personally liked how yes, Ultraman Z did defeat a lot of these monsters, but at least the mechs were able to hold their own.
Yeah, like eventually Scavenger was retired, which I was sad about, but then he came back in a blaze of glory, and it was just like, fuck yeah! And he fucking wielded the Belial sword. He's just like, fuck yeah!
Shows up in the finale for the final battle.
Which I'm gonna give Zed. That's another thing. Like that's what Ultraman Z I can define for me. It gave me stuff that I didn't know I wanted. Like I didn't think I needed G to show up with a new form. I got that, and I was like, fuck yeah. I got a cool-ass new robot version of a robot I already like. I got Belial as a sword. I didn't know I wanted that. And I have it. Well, I don't have it, but...
I have it.
Someday.
Not on me.
Yeah.
But in the near future.
Yeah. I'll probably come over and...
Talk with it.
Yeah. Like,
what?
Hey, you want a cool car? Yeah.
I think the Rogues Gallery in, like, Kaiju and Aliens were at least a nice blend.
Yeah, like Barroso was a really good addition, and I kind of feel like we're going to see a lot of them later because they like literally shoved it in your face where it's like there are 10,000 of these guys. They're going to be using him pretty much probably throughout the rest of the Reiwa era of Ultraman.
I mean, hey, different VA every time.
Exactly. Like I'm betting you this now. We are not going to see a single Ultraman series in the rest of the Reiwa era that doesn't have Alien Barroso showing up at least once.
If I can make one recommendation for an Alien Barroso VA, Masako Nozawa, Goku.
Oh, yeah, get Luffy.
Get Luffy. Just get everyone from Dragon Ball to do a Barrosa.
Exactly, or maybe get like past. Like Ultraman VAs, like voicing one. That'd be funny.
Well, I mean, in episode 22, we saw a previous Ultraman VA come in.
Yeah.
Oh no, we already got Tomokazu Seki.
Yeah. Celebros. The concept of him was cool. Like when we found out his overall plan, I was like, cool. But like, I like my villains to be a bit more personified. Like like they're their own unique individual, and like they have more to them. So like. Yeah, Juggler. Juggler was fucking the perfect example of how you write an Ultraman villain so well. K was fun. I liked his loyalty. That was cool, and like his obsession.
And his loyalty led to his demise.
Tregear was cool. I just feel like he should have been implemented more, but we got more onto his past, which made him like a more complex character, and I kind of wanted that more with him and Taiga. I feel like he should have had more to do with them.
I think that's just the thing with Taiga overall. All the good stuff is not in the main show.
Then you have Orb Dark. Like, fuck, man. He should have just been the villain the whole goddamn time. He's my favorite villain in Ultraman, personally.
Yes and no. I could see him being like I liked what they did with Orb Dark at the start, becoming the main villain, but then slowly being shafted into like secondary villain. What I didn't like is how they just wrote him out of the show entirely.
Yeah.
Because I think the concept of, in a sense, a purist fan being, like a purist fan of Ultraman, not liking the way that the new generation does it, sounds funny.
Yeah, and like he could have teamed up with them at the end, and it would have been awesome. He would have redeemed himself.
Exactly.
Like the man fucking worshipped Orb, for fuck's sake. Like, we'll never see him again. We're never going to see that character again. And that's why I love Orb Dark, Noir Black Schwartz, so goddamn much, because he's so unique. So special.
I feel like if this show was 50 episodes, which we'll get into that in a moment, I feel like if Kaburagi was our main host for Cerebro throughout the entire show,
which he basically was
until the very end. Like episode 17, I think, was his last episode.
Yeah, he just realized he outused his purpose. He was just like, okay, I need a new body.
He got caught, so he bailed.
Yeah, he just jumped from body to body.
I feel like if this was like a 50 episode series, we would have had, if it was an American show, we probably would have had an episode with Kaburagi and Cerebro, and learning where the area is of like, is this Kaburagi's choosing, or is this all Cerebro's doing? Mm-hmm. Like, that would have made it a bit more complex to realize, oh, this wasn't Cerebro, this is what Kaburagi actually wanted.
Yeah.
But I think the way that it is, he is just using their voice to get higher in the food chain.
And now I'm thinking about it, like his concept for what he was as a villain. We've already seen it before in other Ultra series, where it's like in Taiga, there was that guy who built that weapon, and he brought it from planet to planet, and would like sell them this thing, and then it would end up destroying everyone.
Or the big one that it reminds me of, Lifeform Zero from Kuga. Or, in a sense, the Grongi as a whole, because the Grongi in Kuga, spoilers for a 22-year-old show, or 21-year-old show, whatever it is nowadays, the Grongi murder people. And not like, oh, they're stuck in a tree, or oh, they get turned into jump. No, they get murdered. Like, straight up murdered.
And then apparently by the end of the series, fucking Lifeform Zero killed, like, 100,000 people.
100,000 people because they thought of it as a game.
Yep. He's like, I'm the best one.
Killing innocent humans.
Yep.
For sport.
Yeah, so like again, like
and you have Cerebro doing this, and the only thing about it, Cerebro has the problem as much as like sealed away Sentai big bosses have the situation of. They're always hyped up to be this big, bad villain. And even Cerebro brings it up in episode 24 when he goes into his backstory a bit of how he goes from planet to planet. Problem is, it's show, don't tell. You tell us all of this.
Yeah.
Where, how cool would it have been if they did like an X situation where remember the episode of Gargorgon? And we got the aliens that arrived there and be like, oh, we come from a destroyed planet?
Yeah.
How interesting would it have been if we got that in Z?
Yeah.
Like, another alien race shows up and they don't know who it was, but someone destroyed their civilization.
Yeah, it's we were a peaceful race, and then something forced our hand where we had to make a weapon to defend ourselves, and then we got out of control.
Yeah.
And our entire civilization crumbled because of this weapon.
and like maybe Storage could be like, oh, we won't fall to that, but history repeats itself.
It's like the episode of Futurama where Bender grows a civilization, and there's the peaceful one on his stomach, and then the one on his ass that finds his nuclear stock, and they fucking cause nuclear war on each other. But yeah, so he wasn't the best villain we've gotten, but he wasn't entirely terrible. Like I said, the concept of him was fucking fascinating. Super cool.
And
I like how he just kind of played both hands.
And speaking of episode count, here I have in the YouTube version, it's a tweet from Kiyotaka Taguchi, the director, where this tweet came out on December 21st, 2020, a few days after the finale came out, like 3 days after the finale. And it blew up a lot because he left one hashtag in. Hashtag Ultraman Z 50 episodes. The idea of if Z had 50 episodes, I think that would be a bit much.
Yeah. Maybe like a good 35.
I feel like that's what they need to do.
Extra 10.
An extra 10 episodes would be good.
Yeah. Because a year's worth of Ultraman's a lot to fucking put.
I think Super I would just run out of gas by then.
Yeah.
And that's why they do shorter seasons.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, of course, the last person we forgot to discuss our opinions on, the man himself, Ultraman Z. Yeah. I liked him. I was kind of like when we heard that he might be this hot-headed guy, I was kind of expecting to see more of that about him, and he wasn't because it was more so because what threw me off was I didn't like how his schwas were different from him. I wanted to actually hear Ultraman Z's voice actor being "Shah!" and stuff like that, how it usually is. But no, they kind of just gave him his own unique voice, and
especially with all the different fusions.
Yeah, each fusion he had a different version of it, and that was cool. But I wanted to hear him do that.
Mm.
So,
well, I think that's why by the end of the show, the final line in the show is them going schwa together.
Yeah,
is supposed to be probably some sort of symbolism of he is now his own person. Yeah,
because that was the thing. His growth was just about he was trying to be Zero's student and wanted to learn from his hero, the person he looks up to, and Zero was just kind of go away, kid. That's cute. I'll give you an autograph later. But then Zero got roped into something because of Zed's obsession with him. And then he just was all right, you know what? You need to learn a lesson about heroism, kid. Here, take this, go to Earth, try to fucking defend it, see how you do. And then, he comes back, Zero comes back later, and he's just alright,
good job.
You're doing a good job, you're stronger, I'm proud of you. And then, again, Zed just being with Haruki and stuff like that, that's what he needed. He needed to bond with a human host and learn his own strength, and eventually by the end he did. He was able to defeat the big bad monster by himself with his own personal strength, and that was really good. That's what Taiga was missing, Ultraman Taiga specifically. That's what he was missing. So I thought Ultraman Z was a really good character, and he was fun. I liked how he put Ultra and everything, and first he was trying to learn Japanese but he couldn't do it right, and then eventually he just learned, and he learn by watching Haruki and the others and stuff, and that's why I'd love to just see an Ultraman series where right off the bat the organization knows that the main character is an Ultraman, and then they bond with them and stuff. That I want to see that. Don't keep it. I know it's tradition, but sometimes come on, it's fun. Because again, the end of Gene, it's yeah, you're the hero. Yeah, can't take any credit for it though. Yeah, so for me overall, I thought Ultraman Z was fantastic. This is well written, great. I'm sad that the head writer passed away when he did. That was just so surprising and shocking to fucking hear that. But I'm glad that the rest of the staff of the show wanted to honor him as best as they could, and I feel like they did. They took with what they had, because he said at the beginning of the show, he's I'm writing the ending and going from there. And so,
well, he wrote some episodes. He wrote the Delta of course, he wrote the Delta Rise Claw episode.
Yeah.
He wrote, of course, he wrote the beginning few episodes.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm actually going to quickly look into that of how many episodes out of the 25 did he actually write. Because I have the Wikipedia broadcast schedule right here.
But yeah, just this show was really good. I had a fun time the entire way through. Like, I don't think there was like really a bad episode this whole way around. Like, every episode had something to give that, like, you know, you took from. Like, for me, I got cool robots, got Jeed, and I got Belial's sword.
So out of the 25 episodes, he wrote 9.
That's not bad.
He wrote 9 episodes.
Yeah, it's like a third. You basically wrote a third of the show.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yep.
But you told me something about Zed for you, so you consider this your favorite, huh?
For the longest time while doing the show, I never really had an all-time favorite Ultraman show.
No, I figured that would have been Orb at first.
Even then, Orb has some faults, and that was mostly just it. Each show, I kept on equal footing because like none of them exceeded each other. Like some of them exceeded each other,
mm-hmm.
but none were ever like up here like to be the very best. Like no one ever was. But bam, bam, but bam.
Yeah.
But since we were able to watch Ultraman Z week to week, each episode I felt like was just, they were always out of the park. There was never a bad episode of Z.
No.
And I just gotta give it that. It's my all-time favorite Ultraman show because every episode was a knockout of the park.
See, for me, Jeed's still my favorite Ultra series just because Belial's my favorite Ultraman. Then you make an entire series where it's about his son, and it's like, well, fuck. Like, I have to automatically like this show a lot because it's about my favorite Ultraman's fucking kid. And then you bring in my favorite Ultraman into the fucking series, give him a new form, have him have a nice little emotional moment with his fucking kid, and just fun characters. Riku's an adorable boy. Like, you can't go wrong with them. So,
which another thing that Taguchi tweeted out was actually his little message about Koto Fukihara, where regardless of work or private life, we thought about the story together as if we were a three-legged race while having fun. With the slogan "Bright and Fun." If everyone who watched it was pleased, I think that's all.
Let's meet again at the next site. Yeah, no, well, I can say this. I was pleased with it.
I was, and I think that was it as well. It's like Koda Fukihara knew what he had. This is the thing that I want to bring up, as cheesy as it sounds. The final shot in the episode of Ultraman Z, of the Z in the sky. I don't see that as a Z. I see it as a lightning bolt. As if, much like with a lot of movies from the past and such that are considered classics, it's lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
With the perfect cast, the genuinely fun, an all-around genuine fun story, filled with love, depth, and just, you know, hilarious, like funny moments here and there.
Yeah.
Just with the best directors in the business. Also, you gotta give it up to freaking the music, the people that wrote the music.
Oh yeah, the Zed theme song is just like fucking.
The Zed theme song was good. The first ending was alright a bit.
Second ending, I think it was a lot better because you have that one line in the song where it's just like, "Just say my name, don't give up."
And
it's like,
it helps that it's Ultraman Z's voice actor singing the song.
Oh yeah, it is. That's right. Fuck.
Yeah.
Just say my name, don't give up. Yeah, like it's just it gets you a lot harder. So, like, not saying the first ending wasn't like awful. It just, I feel like the second ending had more impact.
I liked how the first ending was used as the bumper for the for the preview of the finale.
Yeah, my favorite ending's still freaking Shine Your Orb or whatever it was called.
Oh, from the Orb.
First Orb ending?
Yeah,
oh
Shine Your Orb.
My god.
I can't find their name, but here it is. Masayuki Goto, because who designed Z in all the forms. I feel like each fusion, none of them were bad in design.
I mean, the fucking MVP Beta Smash.
Beta and that's the thing. It's not just, it's a new skin. No, each of them had their own unique abilities. Alpha Edge was more about martial arts. Beta Smash was the heavy hitter. Gamma Future was more about using the
mysticism.
Yeah, using the pyrotechnics as they were mentioned in the press conference.
Yeah.
And it's not like another press conference. Like, I still hate with X-Aid that at their press conference they said this is going to be the best Kamen Rider show in history. And I'm like, that is bullshit and you know it. Yeah, but here it's like, we have like all this great stuff to show you and they nailed it.
Yeah.
Which, as of this episode's release, Ultraman Chronicles Z Heroes Odyssey is coming on YouTube with English subtitles.
Ooh.
Which does feature some Ultraman Z in it, so hopefully we will see Ultraman Z in the future. He will always be back.
Yeah, and we're getting a movie.
Yeah, a movie hasn't been announced yet, but on January 29th, we're getting some sort of big announcement for Z, which
probably the movie.
Probably a movie, probably another series. Whatever they do with Z, I am fully on board with it.
There you go.
So to go back to Taguchi's question of, do you want a 50-episode series? Yes and no.
Yeah, maybe just like more Z content.
Maybe just a movie here and there.
Yeah, like a special.
Or like a mini-series here and there.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have a mini-series than try to do more of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since Kota Fukihara is no longer with us.
Yeah.
And that's why I consider Ultraman Z a masterpiece.
It was really good. I enjoyed it thoroughly. This was a much big step up from Taiga for me personally. So, because it's just like, Taiga just... I left that show with just being like, like 3 Ultraman I thought was going to be a good idea, and it just was too much for me.
It was too much.
But I can't wait to see what's ahead for the Ultra series.
The 55th anniversary.
Yeah, so we'll see. Will they do fusions again? I don't know. Will they have like several Ultramen in this next series? Who fucking knows?
Like, did you notice that Orb G Z? It's kind of like a trilogy of fusion, especially in Z, where they never mention Rube or Taiga.
Nope.
So if you watch G, you can go straight into Z.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, all right, you know what? We're gonna do what we originally intended to do.
Yeah. And now we know fusion works.
The fusion trilogy, as we will call it, is a perfect blend of shows that, if you want to get into Ultraman, I recommend these 3 shows.
Yeah, Orb, G, and fucking Z. Definitely.
Orb, G, and Z.
And if you want a nice wholesome show, Ultra series about family, watch Rube, because Rube, you get a lot of family feels, and it's really good. Plus, you just get Orb Dark, and he's the best fucking part of that show.
But I believe that is it for this episode of Ultraranger.
Yeah!
Next time we meet, now that Ultraman Z is over, we will be returning back to our wonderful, slightly, moderately, Ultraman Great. We're talking about Ultraman Great.
Yay! More Ultraman Great! I've personally been thinking I've been enjoying it just because of how silly it is, but you're just like, as the episodes get more and more, we get more into the show, you're just like, oh my fucking god, why? Like, the only thing you like about the show is Arthur. Arthur's the only thing you like.
Expect 2 cameos throughout the finale of, well, not the finale of Great, but during the second batch of episodes of Great. Expect 2 cameos, not for every time, but once. Everybody gets 1.
Yes.
But anyways, this has been Ultraranger, episode 147. Ultraman Z is a masterpiece.
There you go.
And we'll see you all in the next episode of Ultraranger. We are glad to be back for the year 2021.
Oh yeah.
And as always, schwa for now.
Schwa for now.